All right, so we're diving deep today into something called, which, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, means pasted message.
You got it.
Okay.
And inside this message, there's this really interesting list called 17 Amazing Things I Discovered Waking Up Early.
Yeah, you sent this over and...
I did. And, honestly, just looking at the title, I thought, okay, this is going to be a lot about productivity.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but looking deeper, I think it's about so much more than that.
Way more, yeah.
So that's our mission today, to get under the skin of these 17 points and see, what are the real core ideas?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And, can this help us decide whether or not we should be changing our wake-up time?
Absolutely. And I think one thing that pops out right away is that this isn't just about getting more done. It's about the kind of space that those early hours create.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that space.
You okay?
The first few points really hone in on that pre-dawn quiet.
The message talks about how it can really generate energy, almost like a spark of inspiration, and how it can refresh your mind. It even suggests using that quiet time to reflect on the past, to inform your future.
It's potent.
It is potent.
It's more than just it's quiet.
Right.
It's something, it seems to be something more.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this in relation to something you mentioned to me earlier about circadian rhythms.
Yeah, our bodies and our minds, they really seem to be primed for that kind of focused thought, maybe even creative energy after we've rested, but before the day has started to pull us in a million different directions.
Right, and it makes sense. It's like, okay, I've had this chance to rest.
Yeah.
Everything's quiet. My mind is sort of,
Yeah.
a clean slate.
Yeah, it's a chance to kind of intentionally choose where you're going to direct your energy.
Absolutely. And it's not just about thinking deeply or reflecting, it's about doing too. There are points here about organizing your thoughts, exercising, even learning something new before the day really kicks off.
Right. And I love how it emphasizes that this is an investment in yourself.
It is. It is.
Which I think a lot of us forget to do. We're so busy investing in other things, work or family.
Yeah.
But ourselves get left behind.
Right.
And the message is very smart to call out the need for a consistent sleep schedule if you want to make this a regular thing.
Totally, because you can't just borrow from Peter to pay Paul with your sleep.
No, you can't. You end up in sleep debt and it catches up with you.
It always does. Now, another thing the message mentions is this link between an early start and your mood and your energy levels.
Okay.
It even says that starting the day earlier can lead to better decisions throughout the day. Wild.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
It also frames it as a way to be more proactive to achieve your goals.
Almost like you're getting a head start on life itself.
I like that because if you think about it, you're starting your day on your own terms.
Yeah.
Before the outside world starts imposing its demands.
Right, right.
And that can set you up for a more positive and productive day overall.
Okay, this next one really resonated with me.
Go on.
It's about self-reflection and personal growth.
Okay.
And the message is suggesting that waking up early encourages this, and that it can drive a desire for self-improvement and even give you the courage to try new things.
Interesting.
It even touches on this idea that real self-development means accepting your flaws while still striving to make progress.
I think that's really important.
It is.
So often we get caught up in this all or nothing thinking with self-improvement, we have to be perfect or we failed.
Right.
But true growth comes from acknowledging where we are and working from there.
And I think that early morning quiet can really provide that space for honest self-assessment without all the noise and judgment from the outside world.
Yeah, like a sanctuary for introspection.
Exactly. Now, the message also gets into some of the physical and mental benefits of waking up early. It talks about exercising before dawn, making you feel lighter, improving concentration, and benefiting long-term health.
Yeah, there's a ton of research on the benefits of morning exercise.
There is.
But not just physically.
Right.
It can really boost your cognitive function, too.
I think that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
But on the mental side, the message suggests reading with music in the morning for a peaceful mind and for absorbing information.
Yeah, it creates a really conducive environment for learning.
It does. It does. And, there's even this idea of challenging yourself with unfamiliar activities in the morning, which could lead to self-discovery. The message also mentions that our brains are wired for better concentration, faster reactions, and higher work output in the morning.
Yeah, those early hours are when our cognitive abilities are at their peak.
That's so interesting.
And it makes sense to capitalize on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's this really powerful statement in the message. Don't look at people beside you. Look at the path you will walk and head toward it.
I love that.
It's so good, right?
It speaks to the importance of focusing on your own journey and not getting sidetracked by comparing yourself to others.
Exactly.
It's about intrinsic motivation and staying true to your own goals. So important. And to stay focused, sometimes we need to manage distractions. The message talks about the benefit of avoiding unnecessary involvement in other people's affairs to protect your mental well-being and preserve your energy.
Yeah, it's about setting boundaries and recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. Finally, the message wraps up by talking about this idea of time wealth.
Oh, I like that term.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It basically says that an early start can give you more time to plan your day, which includes work, leisure, personal pursuits, and ultimately even hobbies and relaxation.
It's not just about having more time, it's about having the time to do the things that truly matter to you.
Okay, so let's bring this all together.
Right.
What are the key takeaways here? It seems like we've got this value of peace and quiet for mental clarity,
Absolutely.
the dedicated time that waking up early creates for self-improvement,
Yes.
and the potential for increased focus and productivity,
Right.
and ultimately more proactive approach to your entire day and your life. Exactly. It's about using those early hours to be intentional, to invest in yourself, and to take ownership of your experience.
So to you, our listener, what's one tiny thing you could experiment with in your morning routine? Just one small adjustment to see if these benefits resonate with you.
What could those early hours hold for you?
Give it a shot.
See what happens.
You might be surprised.
You never know.
Okay, until next time.
See you then.
Okay.